It's Hella Black, episode 40.
Yes, sir.
Niggas made it to 40.
40. I don't know what 40 represents. I don't know if it's an important number, but since it got a 0 at the end, I'm gonna act like they do.
40.
I feel like all numbers with 0 at the end
How important? It's like 10, 20, 30, 40,
and so on.
Shout out E40. You feel me?
Yeah, shout out E40. Fuck it, real Bay Area legend. We in this motherfucker. Hella Black episode 40. Shout out 40 Water.
That is wild. We came a long way, man. 40 fucking episodes, still recording, still Hella Black.
Do you not feel like we should have more though?
Maybe. I mean, nah. We doing well.
When you look at our productivity over the course of like the last year though, like we definitely upped our output.
Hella productive.
Yeah, we definitely upped our output, but you be seeing
some podcasts
like episode 575. That doesn't mean episode 575, does it?
I don't know.
But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
you know, you said niggas was like episode 230. It's like, nigga, what the
some people for real.
I feel like Joe Rogan has that many episodes on his podcast.
Oh yeah, that for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
but them niggas not be doing that shit every day. No,
like they probably record like once a week. We
I don't like.
But they're like full time.
Yeah,
podcasters.
I don't like myself that much to want to hear myself. I don't like myself that much to want to hear myself talk that much. I don't know if y'all niggas like me that much to want to hear me talk that much. But
I think people will listen. I don't know. If we drop shit once a week, people will for sure listen.
We've had our spurts.
We had like January we was doing once a week. February was almost once a week.
Yeah.
March, niggas left the country.
That's how you know we are actually like true creatives and true artists, because artists, from what I've noticed, the free artists, nigga, not the artists that's, enslaved by labels and deals and all other kind of shit, right? Free artists create when they feel like it.
We really do create when we want to, but now we have...
You might get 2 episodes in 1 week, nigga. You might get 1 episode in a month.
But with Patreon, we try to at least give you at least 3 episodes.
Shout out our patrons.
So shout out patreon.com/HellaBlackPod. Sign up on that motherfucker. We got extended episodes. But yeah, I think that's what's good about it is I don't ever feel forced to speak. You feel me?
I've had moments.
There's been moments
where I'm like, nigga, I do not want to record this podcast today, but we haven't put out content in 2 weeks, and niggas is paying for this shit via Patreon.
But I always feel good after I do it. I have. Yeah. I don't want to speak for you, but
I have my moments. Bro.
Yeah,
I definitely have my times where
I ain't trying to record.
This right now, my spirits are up surprisingly.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I remember texting you. I was like, bro, I need to record. Like,
yeah,
because this is almost when I think about Hella Black. Like, this is just to me, it's so much bigger than the podcast. Like, it's almost like therapy in some ways.
It can be
just
for sure.
Like,
it can
talk about certain things. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got some shit to say. I need to get off my chest. I feel like this was one of those weeks where I was like, fuck, I need to record. Like, let's record.
Yeah, and I feel like it's been a while, but it was before you went on your trip. That's the last time we did a podcast. So I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I ain't talk my shit in a little bit. I ain't been active on Twitter either, so I'm like, I got all this shit bottled up inside of me.
Yeah. I seen you tweet something like, I'm gonna talk the rest about this on the Black Pod.
Yeah, you want the rest of my thoughts, nigga?
Yeah, hey up.
So we here in episode 40. Shout out to all the folks that have been rocking with us from episode 1 to 40. Shout out to folks that just started rocking with us last week. Wherever you got in, where you fit in, shout out to you. Shout out to my co-host, my nigga Blake. Shout out to anybody that's played a role in Hella Black, all the places we done live podcast at. Everybody, I appreciate the support. For real, because you think about how many folks are trying to, I don't know, like podcasting started becoming a new wave or whatever, right? So I think anyone that's taking time to listen to what we gotta say, I think my nigga Black said it best, like, it's a million artists out there, but you choose to donate your ear to me. I appreciate y'all for fucking with Hella Black, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We've improved too, man. We've grown. Like, I'll be listening sometimes just to like check out the audio of our last, older ones. I'm like, damn, like niggas really have improved our shit. We've stepped up. Like we podcasters now. We can't say we ain't.
These are the facts. We've stepped up our podcasting. I feel like in a number of ways, like set design, audio wise. Then I also think
equipment.
Yeah, I got all the equipment. I also think live shows. I also think the way we like structure our podcast. If you go back to the early episodes,
niggas was just talking.
Although we do the same shit now, we still do the same shit now, but it's like a lot more. I think it's a lot more intention, a lot more thought. Not a lot of it, but there's some more intention and thought that goes into the Hella Black process, and I'm hopeful that the folks that listen can recognize it.
Yeah, definitely.
I just had a thought. I want to plug my nigga Logan. Shout out my nigga Logan, his podcast, the Logan Murdoch podcast. Shout out my cousin Whitney. Their podcast is The Light Skin Berry.
Yeah.
You got any podcasts you want to plug?
I was gonna say Logan's.
Yeah. You should also promote Shy's project.
Oh yeah, tap it.
Oh yeah,
promote shit. Tap in with my cousin Shira, Cheyenne G. She just released a project called The Reset. Tap in on iTunes, SoundCloud. That shit slap. Fuck with it.
Well, this episode isn't going to come out tomorrow, but Shy has a show tomorrow.
Oh yeah, but only put patrons to know that shit.
Yeah. So if you're a patron in Oakland or in the Bay Area, Oaklandish, shout out Miles B, shout out C5. Shy's gonna be there, and there's one more artist. I don't know who it is. Shout out to you.
I know Miles.
Shout out to you. No disrespect, fam. I just don't know the other name that's attached to it, but yeah.
Yeah, we rocking though.
Did you already do the like us on SoundCloud spiel? I know you spoke on Patreon.
See, this is how you know we really be rocking. You feel me? Really podcasting. We gotta like it feel weird. We can't stop or we can't start until we do the whole spiel. Nice. So if you got your phone out right now, if you're driving, pull over, get a park, like this shit on SoundCloud, tap in on our iTunes. You feel me? 5-star reviews. If it ain't 5-star, we don't want it. A for real 5-star review. Patreon.com/HellBlackPod. If you want extended episodes and you want exclusive content, like the episodes don't end when we end. We always do exclusive content straight for patrons. You feel me? So tap in on Patreon.com/HellBlackPod to get extended episodes. Feel me? Like us on SoundCloud, subscribe, do all those things. Tell your cousin, tell your auntie. You feel me? We real grassroots. That's why we Hella Black. You feel me? That's the way it's been.
Damn,
people just telling. I know.
I'm addicted to that shit. That's why the camera doesn't need to be here, bro. The camera, I just
subscribe to our YouTube channel, Hell Black Pie. You feel me? You get to see us as we talk. You know,
you get to see my journey as becoming the flyest nigga in the world.
This nigga hair getting long and shit
from start to finish. I know. I wish you could donate some shit to me. I would get extensions if I could.
You get some bundles.
I donate if you what bundles up. Bundles Remy out here.
Fuck.
Big Remy, nigga.
This nigga really said, can I go somewhere?
Bro, Obama, what the fuck? They be hella niggas getting extensions though. I'm not even going off into that tangent. As always, we're gonna start this shit off with some Black Joy. Let me see what you got. I hope y'all out here experiencing Black Joy. You know, being black in this white supremacist capitalistic patriarchy of a society can be a motherfucker.
The hell of that.
So it's important that we center ourselves in some joy. Black joy. I'm trying to figure out what I had popping. We had your birthday party at my crib recently.
Yeah,
that was some black shit. That was some super black shit. What else? Probably some black joy. I feel like I did something recently that made me feel like, oh, we barbecued at my house this past weekend. That was some black joy. Yeah, I don't know what else.
There has to be something else.
I feel like there's like a moment that I had recently that was like hella like communal. What the fuck did I do? I literally do not know. Your birthday party brought me some joy. Like I said, we was talking about before, I was a little anxious because when you're hosting things, at least I don't know if anyone else deals with this shit, but I know I do. When I'm hosting, I feel this obligation to like
talk
host.
To everybody.
Yeah, like essentially host, right? Like I don't know if pander's the word I'm looking for, but like pander to people and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like make sure they having a good time and all this shit. But you know, a part of it being like kind of your thing, I didn't have to do as much as that. Cause you know we have parties at my house all the time, but they mostly like shit that I throw, and that puts the responsibility on me. But since it was like Blake's birthday party, it was okay. It's at Lindsay's house. Like Blake is the person, the man of honor. So you know we gonna center our shit around that nigga. So I was able to really just get drunk and have a good time, and not have to worry about too much. So and then getting to celebrate your birthday, we tried to have your party at my house last year.
Yeah.
My aunt got like food poisoning or some shit.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to have that. That fucking sucked. So yeah, getting to celebrate your shit at my house like we had planned the year before, and to do it big and have a lot of our friends and family and loved ones in the building.
That shit was hella fun. That shit was hella black.
That shit was dumb lit. I had a good ass time.
I was turned. This nigga beat me in beer pong too. You know, I beat him I think twice, but you know, we really play beer pong out here.
Man, so yeah, I've had somebody ask me, how do I hate white people but I play beer pong? Like nigga, cause I play beer pong the nigga way. And I'm not playing beer pong with whites. I did in college. Don't even remind me. But yeah. That was a funny conversation of like, somebody was like, how you hate white people but you play beer pong? That's some white shit. I'm pretty sure black people created beer pong.
Yeah, they probably stole it from us.
Yeah.
Like that was for sure some cookout shit.
Period. I believe it.
But someone's like, I never seen so many niggas play beer pong the way y'all play beer pong. Cause like we would play beer pong, it's like imagine niggas playing dominoes but talking hella more shit.
Beer pong is legit like basketball.
Yeah. Like
in terms of you playing with niggas.
Hella shit.
Yeah. Like
niggas ready to be like
shit.
you flip over a beer pong table. That's how we play beer pong.
So mad competitive, mad niggerish. That's how it is for real. But what about you, bro? What about you some black joy in addition to your birthday?
Yeah, birthday for sure. Birthday for sure. That shit was hella fun. Just having hella loved ones, you know, family, and having that at your crib. You feel me? That's like one of the places I feel hella safe. You know, so like it's just always love over there. So just having that birthday, you feel me? Because birthdays always be kind of challenging for me. You know, it's like hell anxiety, just past shit. You know, but I feel like that was probably one of the best birthdays I've ever had. So you know, and I think it just symbolizes a lot of the work that I've done for my own personal work, my own healing. You feel me? And just like creating shit how I want it to be and not letting other people create it for me or other past experiences create it for me. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that was for sure. Then I went to fucking Thailand. Nigga, that shit was, oh my God.
Nigga, I told you, I was like, watching your story, I was living vicariously through you. Like, I'm like, fuck, nigga, don't come back. Like, legit. Bro. I don't know how many times I said that to you. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. You really did me that like at least 3 or 4 times. I feel like.
Don't come back, bro.
Don't come back. It ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. Like, nigga, you were having so much fun out there, bro.
Bro, I've never been that happy, bro. I was like, my serotonin levels went up. Nigga, like, I really was feeling hella happy, bro. Like, nigga, that shit was nuts.
What would you say is like what was like the, not the highlight, but like highlights? I know there had to be like multiple parts of the trip where you was like, what the fuck?
Bro, it was like that first night, and I woke up in the morning because the time changes had me fucked up, so I was up at probably like 6 in the morning, and then I just went down and watched the sunrise, bro. And that shit was just hella spiritual, bro. Like, watching the sunrise, nigga, on the beach, and the sun, like, literally just right in front of you. Water hella blue. It's 80 degrees out. You feel me? Just, like, no one is really on the beach. I'm, like, one of the only, people up just watching the sunrise. It was just like, damn, niggas, you feel me? Niggas, I don't know. Been through hella shit, but to just see this beautiful-ass moment in the world right now, and just to be able to be by my, be out in Thailand.
Yeah.
25 was, I went through some shit, you feel me? Been through some shit, so to be able to out there and just have that moment, bro, that shit was pure.
What is that shit like to be able to like detach from this society for a little bit and to like enter another reality of life? Because I feel like out here we have such a, I don't know, like a kind of like a, what is it? Like such a narrow experience and view of life. Because like think about the American experience. It's so much based on production and work, right?
Yeah.
And you go over to a space like, I mean, you were at a resort, nigga. So like the point of a resort is to relax. Like I'm pretty sure motherfuckers outside of that resort we know they got some shit going on, right? But like, what is it like to know that like, damn, this is how life could be 24/7, but the way that systems are designed, niggas only get to experience this in like spurts. Yeah.
That shit was just nuts. Like to be able to just relax, bruh. Like really, I've never been that relaxed in my life, bro. Just be able to relax and chill. Wake up when I want to, go to sleep when I want to. Nigga, I probably got 12 hours of sleep every night. Like, bro, I haven't been that relaxed. I usually don't sleep well either in new places, but I slept hella good out there, So it was just hella relaxing to be out there. I feel like shit just moves a lot slower. Like Americans, like it's so, and I'm sure for people working there, it's probably the same, like just moving hella fast, But I feel like life just moves a lot slower out there, Like, there ain't no skyscrapers, you feel me? There ain't no shit like that,
Yeah.
So it was just cool. Because it's just like, I feel like life moves slower. You feel me? There's not hella cars. Like, there's just hella, like, everybody has mopeds and shit. Mopeds, motorcycles, barely any cars. Like, Uber pools, you're in the back of a pickup truck.
Yeah.
Just hanging on, just chilling, you feel me? But nah, that shit was just cool. Just to be able to detach from, like, America. I'm just like, damn, the way we live in America, you don't have to live this way.
And I feel like that's any place where, like, industrialization is, like, hella big, right?
Yeah.
Like, anywhere where, like, you got fucking like hella docks or hella factories, just shit like that. That's just like seems to be like the common thing is like anywhere where like productivity is the basis of that society, that's where it.
And a lot of like the people out there, they just was hella cool, like smiling and shit all the time. Like I'm sure I don't want to romanticize shit, of a different place, especially a place I'm not from. But like the people there were just hella cool, like just friendly, nice, we'd be up in the mountains, some shit like ATV riding, people just living up in the mountains. They're just like smiling and waving at you. Like, what's going on? You know, I was like, damn, that shit. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a certain level. Like America is just something else.
But you always hear motherfuckers say this. But then also, I'm thinking about like how many like fucking, like foreign exchange students you'll see on like American, in like universities and shit, right? So I'm like, motherfuckers coming over here for some reason too, and like it's motherfuckers that leave their countries and come over here and stay because I guess they.
It's the idea of money. Yeah, I feel like
that's what it is. I'm like, bro, like you always hear Americans, motherfuckers from here, like leave and be like, bro, like they just do not fuck with America anymore after they leave this and experience some different shit. But also again, right, it's like romanticizing places and be like, nigga, the fact remains, nigga, you stayed on a fucking resort. Yeah. like
a resort,
you lived on the beach, nigga. Like if you went and just packed your shit up and lived on Santa Barbara's beach for 10 days, you gonna feel the exact same way about it. You know what I'm saying? Like mostly some of the same things. So yeah, I think that's important to acknowledge. Is like not romanticizing things, but there's something to be said about, nigga, the way we experience life on a daily basis in America, bro. Like this shit is pure productivity. Mm-hmm. Every day you thinking about how you can produce.
Everybody getting up to do the same shit. Like think about like when we was in New York. Like we're literally walking. Everybody walking the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like just like on some Black Mirror type shit. You know.
Bro, I was talking to Keenan about this shit yesterday. He was like, "Nigga, we really living in a dystopian society right now. We thought it would look like the way like Mad Max and shit look, or like Wall-E or some shit like that. But like, nigga, it looks the way that it looks right now, and it's wild how the human experience is, bro."
Yeah.
Like every now and again, I have like these like epiphanies or like these spiritual situations, spiritual moments where I step back like outside of my body and like, fuck, bro, like life do not have to be like this when I feel trapped in this motherfucker. And then you throw in the parts of like being poor, being black, being trans, being queer, being disabled. You feel me? Into this whole productive experience, this capitalistic experience, and it just makes everything else that much harder, bro. That much difficult to fucking maneuver through. And life legit don't gotta be like this, bro.
That's how I feel when I was in Thailand. I was like, it was almost like an out of body experience. Like, damn, bro. Like, just even the shit I trip over sometimes. You feel me? You be in a different environment. Like, damn, how was I tripping over that shit? Like, that shit is so small.
I think that's something you can carry from over here. Like, I think that's not something that's like romanticized. That's like some real shit. Like, yo, like, what can I give my fucking energy to? Because of course, again, we do live in a capitalist society where like you have to produce to survive, my nigga. Like, or you gonna be on the streets like so many of the folks that we know, right?
Right.
But also, like, picking and choosing what the fuck you give energy to.
Yeah, or like what your battle is too, you feel me? That's one big thing that I took away, and we'll talk about more of that like as we get into the episode. But just having like, bro, I literally woke up one day, I felt high. Like, nigga, I felt like I smoked weed and I was just high as shit, you feel me? Like, just, it was just pure off vibes, bro.
Not being stressed feel like.
I was like, bro, is that what's...
Ain't that wild, like, with not being, like, anxious? It's such an unfamiliar feeling that you associate it with something else. Like
anxiety, I really had my anxiety and my depression, just PTSD was just not the same. I don't know if my PTSD is so related to where I am. You feel me? But like it was just so different, bro.
So when we talk about,
it was nuts.
Like me and you've been having conversations recently. Like, okay, like nigga, we got to get you out the country. Like for the niggas that don't know, I haven't been anywhere really. I didn't have been every state in America for real. Except for Hawaii, I've been everywhere for real, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why I haven't went out the country yet, because like, I'm afraid that I'm not going to come back. Or I'm afraid that I'm going to come back and I'm not going to be the same.
You won't be.
And I don't know how I'm going to manage that.
And I remember you saying some shit like this, and I was like, this is what Delancey meant.
Like, niggas be pressed, like, everybody pressures me to go out the country. Like,
I've been telling you, I'm gonna
the people that know me and are close to me are like, nigga, you need to go somewhere, I'm like, bro, go get your passport, let's go somewhere, go. I ain't been nowhere yet, bro, because I'm afraid of, again, never coming back, and also, like, coming back and just being completely over and detached from this shit. Like, I don't know.
It's been so hard to go back to work. Because you said that's why I don't take vacations.
Yeah, I'm like, nigga, I never took a vacation. No, nigga, literally, I've never took a vacation in my life. And niggas might say, like I think in my mind, like, well, I took 2 days off. I took 2 days off from one job, but I did something else. You know what I'm saying? I've never just, nigga, gone, detached. Don't hit me about nothing. I'm not responding to no emails. I've never done that in my life, ever.
Bro, I deleted my email off my phone, bro.
Yeah, couldn't be me. I've never done that
I deleted my, like, work email. I still checked my personal shit. And, but... Bro, that shit, I really I was like, damn, I don't want to leave. I really felt that way. Like, I feel like if I didn't have a party plan for when I got back, it's a good thing I planned that. I would have tried to find a way to stay for another.
Yeah, I think that was the perfect way to kind of reintegrate yourself into society. Okay, let me get around the motherfuckers that I spend my days with while I'm here. Let's get back and doing something that's like familiar, partying, talking, breakfast, all that kind of shit, right? Because I don't know what, like, excuse me, and I got an addictive personality, my nigga.
Yeah.
So I might go somewhere, get addicted to my living situation, excuse me, and be like, nigga, I'm not going anywhere, like, period.
Bro, that's what Thailand was for me. I was like, that shit was so nice, bro. Like, it was so nice, and the people there, like the Thai people, they was hella cool with me because they so used to white people. You feel me? I treat them well. You feel me? Treat them like a human being. Like they was hella fucking with me. You know, pouring hella free drinks and shit. You know, just talking like they was infatuated with my tattoos and shit because they all, you know, they be having like bamboo tattoos and shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like American to them. You know, and then they're like, oh, you got gold teeth. Like they're asking me about all that shit. Like they was hella cool too. You know, so it was cool to like be out of a zone of like American racism. You feel me?
Yeah.
And like not really experiencing that. Like, you feel me? It was more so like, oh, are you a rapper? Are you in the NFL? Like,
so that's forms of racism.
It's like a small
diet racism.
But
diet racism.
Diet. You know, I'll take my shit diet.
Niggas probably ain't mean no harm for real.
Yeah, it was no harm. You know, it was just more reaction to what they see. Yeah. More so. I was like, all right, I could take that. Are you a rapper? Whatever. Yeah.
For sure.
You know, but it was like to be out of that, like not having to worry about like the police. You know what I mean? Like not having to worry about, you know, the shit we worry about on a
daily basis. Even the shit that you might not even be conscious of.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was cool to not, you know, just to feel like feeling safe even in a foreign ass place. And that's probably not the reality of like maybe everybody there who are from there. But like definitely that American privilege, having a passport, you feel me? But I don't know, man, that shit.
Yeah, I think when I do take a trip, I won't do anything that's 10 days. Like that's for me, that's like don't come back territory.
Yeah,
that's literally like don't come back territory. And so I think I'm planning a trip. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I'm probably end up going to like Hawaii or some shit. But I'm only gonna do 3 days, nigga. I'm only gonna do 3 days. 3 days. When I get
Hawaii is at least close enough.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
you can't go to Thailand for 3 days because you damn near traveling
exactly.
for a day.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go to Hawaii for like 3 days, I think, and then in a couple more years, I'm gonna promise myself like, yo, when I can, like one of my coworkers did this shit. She took off like 6 months and just literally traveled the world, I guess. So I think at some point when I get to a financial situation to where it's like, yo, like a nigga ain't really gotta work for a year if you don't want to and still be cool. I'm gonna do like some in-depth traveling, like for real, like nigga, I'm out this motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit was hella healing.
Yeah,
like you definitely come back with a different perspective on life, you know.
So we talked about like the best parts, but like what would you say is like what did you take away from there that you're gonna apply to here? You already kind of touched on it with the like I guess being conscious of what you give your energy to. Like what else? Did you take away from the trip? I
remember I sent you that photo of that waterfall, jumping off that rock. It hell reminded me of Yuba and shit.
Yeah.
When I was there, it was just like, I felt like I had a very spiritual moment. It was more so like, I told myself, you know, I was like, when I'm feeling stressed out, I'm gonna remember this moment. Remember how I feel right now. You know? And just be like, try to be grounded in that shit. It's like, cause I felt just hella cool, bro. I went under a waterfall, swimming, ATV riding, and was just so fucking peaceful. I'm like, all right, I need to remember this moment when shit gets stressful. Back in America, you know what I'm saying? 3 days later, it's like Nipsey Hussle is killed. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, damn, I'm feeling all this fucking like grief, sadness, anger, rage. You know what I'm saying? And then I was like, all right, I like brought myself back to that moment that I had at the waterfall. I was like, all right, how do I find some form of peace right now? You know, how do I have some form of, like, how do I change my perspective to understand, like, okay, just 5 days ago, I was feeling hella cool. You feel me? Feeling like hella pure, you know? So, like, how do I channel that same energy in this moment of, like, anger, sadness, grief for being back in America? You know, it's like, so I think just trying to channel that, it's been, that was a big part of it. Like, channeling those feelings and being like, okay, I can only control certain things. I can only give my happiness to certain things. and understanding like life is precious too, you know, and like those moments you have, like enjoy those joys, like really feel those joys. You feel me? Like, cause I feel like sometimes I'll have hella successful shit going on right now, but not even recognize my success. So like, how do I celebrate and have joy in those moments? You feel me? And not let everything else around me, all the other stressors, take away from the moment. Like shit, we doing 40 podcasts. That's a moment for us. Like, well, how do I celebrate that? You feel me?
Yeah, facts.
And not just look over it as like, oh, it's regular.
I think
the shit we doing ain't regular, but it feel regular. And just being able to celebrate yourself.
Such a familiar feeling. Yeah, I think a lot what I'm taking away from all that shit is like gratitude. And my experience of gratitude is like that shit can shift your daily experience for sure. So I'm hoping that shit, being one of the niggas that you spend a lot of time with, I'm hoping like that you make that happen for yourself and you are able to keep that perspective and that shit rubs off on me and all the folks that we
yeah. Because I feel like when you're good to yourself and you give thanks to yourself, bro, it just make you a better person towards yourself. When you're a better person towards yourself, you're gonna be better towards other people too. You know what I mean?
I've experienced that for sure. Yeah.
You know,
I kind of like what AB talked about when they were saying have grace with yourself and shit.
Yeah. That's something meditation that's helped me too. I stayed on my meditation out there too, nigga. I was really meditating out there and shit, right by the beach and shit. That shit was nuts.
I don't know why you're back.
Bruh.
Still haven't figured it out.
Because I need more money. Yeah. Capitalism.
I get that trip wasn't free, nigga.
Nigga,
that trip wasn't free, nigga. That hotel room wasn't free. That ATV wasn't
not
free.
I had to pay for it.
Oh,
my
shit.
Nigga. Shit got me ready to hit a lick. And just travel.
So shit, you been back for like a week now?
Yeah, it's Thursday.
How you doing like mentally?
Bro, I'm sad, bro. And I think it's just like coming back to America and realizing like you can escape, but you can't escape. You feel me? It's like you can just like you could dip, feel something different, and then you come back to America and it's still America and you still dealing with the same shit in America. And I know one thing we've talked about is like we've been like I've been critical of like Ta-Nehisi Coates and shit. Like that nigga moved to Paris and shit. When I was out there, I was like, damn, I understand why niggas move. I understand why niggas move away from America.
It's like a I don't even know if selfish is the word I'm looking for, but it's like it's putting yourself first for real. Like, I have to do what's best for me. And it's wild, as black folks, we conditioned and we burdened with constantly having to move for one another. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think about myself, if I just pack my shit up and cut, even if I still have the financial resources to send back to my family, I'm like, my physical resources, I'm taking away from them. And I wonder how much of that is like, a lot of it is going to be what's alright, what's best for me, but
you do a lot for other people.
You know what I'm
like
saying?
Impact on other people.
So that's why like I was hella critical of niggas like Baldwin and Coates and probably a couple other folks like early on when I first got into my politics. I'm like, nigga, how the fuck you just leave niggas out here? But then as I'm experiencing life as a nigga who going through the shit that they going through, as trying to be a resource, as trying to be a voice for my people, like nigga, I get it. This shit is a motherfucker, bruh.
Especially when you're really in the fucking field, bruh. Doing this shit day in, day out.
Not just milking the community.
But you live in it.
Yeah, like,
you feel me? Like you live in the risk. You live in the, all the things that come with being a radical. You live,
Yeah. Shit is a lot. So, yeah, to your point, I get why niggas do it. And it's just, again, it's another one of those burdens that come with being the oppressed, being black in America. That should just come with it.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of decisions we make, we gotta take into consideration the people that we love, people that we care about.
Cause I really thought about it. I was like, man, if I move out here and open a bar or some shit,
you be cool.
I could be cool, but I'm like,
think about your cousins,
about my family,
siblings, who you a whole. That's a bunch of folks that's missing out.
The breakfast program
on your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, from me guidance and protection or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I don't even. For me, like it's hard sometimes to differentiate between like what's my ego and what's like. You know what I'm saying?
Really happening.
It could be both. Nigga,
true.
Honestly, this shit could be synonymous. It could be my ego telling me this shit, but also like I'm living this shit. I know that motherfuckers.
I know the impact you have on people.
Yeah, and I'm like we living this shit, right? Like we know, like nigga, we really have an impact on folks. So I'm like,
Facts.
I guess it's the decision I'm making for now to like really be 10 toes in this shit. And
I would be like, bro, I would feel like I sold out if I moved.
Honestly. Not unless I could just take enough motherfuckers with me. And even then, you still leaving somebody else.
Yeah. I'm like, if I could open a bar out here and have all my partners work out here, and we all just collectively do that shit, That shit would be raw. I met this one American dude out there. He's Thai, but like from America. He said he just moved out there. Nigga rides ATVs every day. Gives ATV tours. He's like, bro, I feel so much better out here. It's just like life is so much. It doesn't move at the same way that America moves. You know, it's like I have more peace, more sense of purpose, more sense of myself, and I'm just living out here, and like it just feels so much more peaceful. I'm just like, damn, you know, I could move out there and where I give ATV tours every day and probably be the most happy. I miss people though. Not black people out there.
I don't miss my family for sure. I think about how much my daily operation is like. I live with my family. I talk to my family. Like, and that's just not just blood related, right? Like you, the niggas we organize with, like my closest friends, like
that's the only thing I was like, I miss my partners.
I wish I could move on.
That's the only thing I missed was really like my partners and my Harley.
Facts. You can get your bike. You can get another Harley.
I saw a Harley out there, bro. I was trying to ride it. This nigga would not let me ride it. It was just shit. I was like, bro, come on, let me ride it. Let me rent it, bro. Let me get some cash. Let me get some bot. The bot is the currency out there. I was
like, nah.
He said no. I was like, bro, I really ride. I showed him a photo of mine. He's like, nah.
You don't fuck about no picture, nigga. What the fuck? Nigga, you thought.
I for sure thought. But yeah, you think this would be a good time to transition?
I feel like we want to do a mental health check-in. I kind of think we
kind of started it too.
Scratched the surface on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
but even when we just, when I picked you up, I feel like we're starting to
check into it. I feel like as of like right now, I'm in a space where I'm kind of like an emotional and spiritual limbo. The last 2 months, and that's just as far as I can trace back. Maybe even longer than that, have been like super overwhelming for me in every aspect of my life. Mostly around like work. I've had a bunch of stuff going around work, and I feel so. In addition to being overwhelmed with like the workload, emotionally I've also been feeling the type of way because I think one of the biggest things I'm dealing with is struggling with like, okay, I should be appreciative that I have all this shit going on, but because also like we've talked about this before on the show. It's like, all right, nigga, I take this over where I was, like not having no purpose, not having no passion, not having no resources, no money, all that kind of shit, right? But I don't know, the shit is just hella draining, bro, and it's hella frustrating to be feeling overwhelmed and to be feeling drained. But I think Sunday, nigga, I was feeling hella good. It was wild. So damn, I don't know how to go because like Sunday's gonna segue into our next segment.
That's fine.
I can take a step back, I think. But anyway, yeah, I've been feeling just hella overwhelmed, hella drained. But I think as of today, I'm trying to move into a better space. I told you I kind of had like a little epiphany before you picked me up. Like, all right, bro, I gotta have a shift in perspective because I know if I don't have a shift in my perspective, I'm gonna get really, really down. And I don't want that. I'm gonna get really anxious, and I don't want that. But, like the shift in perspective that I had is like mostly around like the tour, mostly around like my jobs and shit. Is that I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to get everything right the first time. Sometimes right can be subjective. But just like having an appreciation for all the things that I do, like as cliche as that might sound, but like again, we talk about gratitude and appreciation, right? This shit kind of just flowing. I think it's like a sign or some shit, but yeah, I'm trying to just have an appreciation for the shit that I got, some gratitude for the shit that I got, and be kinder to and be more kind to myself. You know what I'm saying? Have that grace with myself, like we talked about before with AB. Have that grace with myself, and just like having understanding, like bro, it's hella hard to navigate the system when life don't gotta be this way, and I don't have to feel this way. But just trying to get some more practices in my life, trying to get some more perspectives in my life to where I can feel, where I can feel better about myself and about my experience. So yeah, right now I would like to say that I'm like damn near in a limbo, and I'm hoping I'm like at this point where I'm about to make this shift in my perspective to where a nigga can start feeling better for real. Yeah. Because like who likes feeling down? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I really want to feel better. Yeah.
I think you will. I think you're like to even be able to like articulate what you're articulating.
Yeah.
And know that you need to make a shift. Bro, that's the first step.
Cause I feel like niggas like we've been there before, right? We like nigga like something gotta give for real. Like I know that I can no longer go down this path with this frame. Like I have to make a shift if I'm gonna be where I want to be and feel the way that I want to feel for real.
I know for me 4 years ago I wouldn't be able to say some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I feel you. I feel similar in some ways. I don't know. Work, especially after coming back from a vacation, and knowing shit don't have to be the way that it is right now, stress wise, you know. But work, bro, it should be stressful. Working 9 to 5 type shit, like just I don't know. I'm grateful to have a job. I'm grateful to like what I do, but it's like work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, nigga. Yeah.
It shouldn't have to be this way. You feel
I
me?
love my job too. Like, I do, bro. I love my. I was telling somebody yesterday. I never wake up in the morning like, fuck, I don't feel like going in.
Yeah.
I don't feel like being here. That's like a very rare feeling for me. I probably felt that shit like twice about this job, and it's only because I was like being severely overworked.
Yeah.
And I was just tired.
Yeah. I think death been on my mind too. Like, I visited my grandpa. My grandpa been hella sick. I know I told you about that. You know, and, I was able to go sit with him. You know, he's been in the hospital, ICU, like outpatient type facility for hella long. He just got back home pretty recently, and being able to go home and sit down and talk to him. Like, he like 87 years old, you know, like has 25% lung capacity. And I go visit him, my grandma. It was hella, like, see my grandma's face, like I just pulled up on her. You know, I just pulled up. She said, "Oh my God, my Blakey." Like, she was smiling, you know, that brought me hella joy. And then being able to talk to my grandpa, I've never had like the conversation I had with him, I've never had with him. Like, it was I don't know, like a man-to-man, like, conversation, like him telling me about his life, bruh. He ain't never told me about his life. He's always been very quiet, been pretty reserved, you know. Feel like the nigga been through hella shit and just never really talked about shit. But, like, I talked to him for like 30 minutes, bro. Never, like, and for his health, for him to talk that long, like, it's rare, you know. Talked to him for like 30, 45 minutes, and that shit was just like, it was beautiful, like, to be able to have that conversation with him. But then I'm also like, damn, kind of sad, like, damn, I wish I could have had this conversation when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And, like, learn more about your life, you know? And I just, like, walked out of his room, I just started crying, bro. Like, sometimes it's hard for me to cry.
Yeah.
I just started crying, I'm like, bro, this shit hella sad, you know? So, like, death been on my mind. And then the next day, it was like Nipsey was killed. So it was just like, two things, you know?
Yeah.
And then Nip's death just hit me pretty hard. You know, so like for my mental health, I was like, damn, I've been hella sad, haven't been sleeping well, niggas ain't been eating, nigga, my room look crazy.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I ain't even gonna speak about that. We'll get on the camera angle because I know about the angles, you feel me? My room is on some nut shit I haven't even unpacked from Thailand.
Yeah.
Like, niggas gotta do laundry and shit. Like, it's like, fuck, I feel this. But this is how, like, I know when I'm depressed, my room will look like I'm depressed. You feel me? So I'm like trying to, like, same with you is like find that, like, all right, what is that thing that I need to do to shift this, because I've been here before and I'm not trying to stay right where I am.
Facts, my nigga, 100%. I definitely feel for you as far as like the grandfather shit. It's not your great grandfather, right? It's
it's my grandpa.
Your grandpa. But like, I had like a different experience. Like I was like raised by like my great grandfather and my great grandparents on both sides of the family. But like, I spent a lot of time with my mom's grandparents, and like they were just people that I respected hella much, and they were like 70 when I was born, right? But like, nigga, I was a kid, so like all the lessons and game they was giving me, like I kind of see it hindsight, but I just know I could benefit so much more from those kind of conversations right now. So it's like kind of the opposite where you're saying you wish you had the conversations you had with them right now as a kid. I wish I could have the conversations that I have right now at this age with my great grandparents. You know, it's about my grandmother and grandfather, bro. Love them to death, and I think about how much they instilled into me and how much I'm a reflection of them. And like, they work, they prayers, all this shit. I'm definitely a reflection of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel for you on that hit. And then like the Nipsey shit, we talked about this shit in the car on the way over here. We talked about it the day it happened or the day after it happened. I think we for sure not alone in the way that shit fucked, the way that shit affect us and like fucked up niggas' overall well-being for real. So like, I'm definitely, like, I feel for you 100% on both those. Yeah, like do we give a content warning for Nipsey shit? Like, it should be triggering.
We're gonna talk about gun violence probably, and his death. So that's a content warning.
Yeah, me and you talked about this on the ride over. The shit that had me so shook, my nigga. And also just giving like a disclaimer, because I was skeptical about talking about this shit, because I feel like so many motherfuckers is just like using his name for their own agendas. or
that's
whatever.
why I was even skeptical. Like, I've been wanting to write some shit.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I don't even want to write because I got like so many people been writing.
I got some too. You know? We know how this world work, my nigga. Like, motherfuckers want clicks. Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? It's like, at the end of the day, this shit's at the end of our fucking episode. Like, motherfuckers not even get to this shit. So honestly, I think it's a chance for me and you to kind of work through this shit in real time.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah, I feel like motherfuckers be having their own agendas. And I don't want to fall into that category for real.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I know if I write some shit, I ain't even going to pitch it, no. I'm just going to drop it on my blog, on my Medium. I don't know. It's been weird to see so many think pieces come out. And I know people are getting paid off of it.
And it's sick when niggas like, reduce you to that.
It make me upset.
I think that is a form of reduction sometimes, bro. Think pieces can be a form of reduction. All kind of media coverage can be a form of reduction.
What you mean by reduction?
Like, a nigga will reduce you down to what fits their agenda. Like, okay, this is what Nipsey was. Like, or yeah, like just in general, like a nigga will reduce you down to what fits their agenda. Like, this is the story that I want to write. This is the story that I want to write. This is what I'm going to do. They're not going to work around. Like, there's going to be very fucking articles that address him as a whole, for bad or for good or for worse. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that shit can be reduction as fuck, reducing as fuck. And then also, like, we've already seen how niggas monetize movements, how niggas monetize narratives.
Monetize Black Death.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, niggas use shit to get money out of it. Like, it's a lot of niggas who just like, oh, I'm finna write this in.
Money or clout.
You know what I'm saying? Especially, man, yeah. That's what it is. I think that's what to acknowledge. So that's why I think I was skeptical of talking about this shit. But
I just wanted to talk about the process. Honestly, that's
I haven't had the chance to process it for real. And I'm wondering how it's gonna show up later on for me. But me and you talked about this shit on the ride over here, bro. I did not know I was capable of feeling the way that I felt about somebody that I never met. But then I had to process, like, nigga, think about the impact that bro had on your life. Why wouldn't you feel this way? Like, when I think about niggas that shaped me for real as the person that I am, in certain aspects of myself, like, Nip, like, top 3 for real for me as far as, like, role models and idols. And of course, like, the nigga ain't perfect. Nobody is, right? We gonna get into, like, some of the shit that we mean when we say, like, ain't nobody perfect, right?
Yeah.
But that was, like, a confusing ass feeling to never have met somebody and for them to just, their death, to send me into that state of mourning and grieving. Like, bro, I was sick to my fucking stomach. I cried for like 2 or 3 days, my nigga. Over, again, a nigga I never even fucking met, but this is a nigga that had such a large impact on who I am.
Yeah. That's something I wrote down when you said that too, like when I was starting to write. I was like, I ain't known it, but it was like it was one of my own niggas died.
Yeah.
And it felt that way too, because the way, like, I knew how you was feeling. I knew how some of my other partners was feeling. You feel me? Like, getting texts like, hey, what's good? You feel me? Like, niggas was texting me like it was one of my partners. You know?
Yeah.
That shit was just, I don't know. But he for sure had an impact, you know? In terms of his music and shit. Like, bro got me through Berkeley, and sometimes, bro, when I was really ready to fade somebody, bro, like, Nip said, you know, what he said? Some shit about, like, oh, it's gonna be the season where I wish you niggas fly north. Like,
he got so many punchlines and one-liners that, like, gave me that boost to the next phase of my life. And, like, nigga, like, help me pick my chin up, you know what I'm saying? Like,
niggas be crying, listening to Nip, alright, for sure. It's good, I gotta get this shit in.
This shit is
happen.
Wow, bro. And I think one of the biggest things that I took from him was, like, this, like, passion, perseverance, and self-belief. Like, those are, like, 3 things that I really got, that I really, like, messages that he, like, pumped into my fucking psyche, bro, that, like, have become part of me. And I can think about the niggas who I got it from, and he's, like, one of 2 other people that I got that shit from, bro. So, I don't know, just, like, sending my condolences to him, his family, and anyone that was you know, affected by his death. And you think about the demographic of, like, I think, like teenage boys to, like, early 30s. And he got lyrics where he's like, like, OGs look up to me, or, like, older niggas look at me like I'm that OG type shit, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's like nigga 14 to 50 is like mentally, like,
yeah. I mean, even probably even like little ass kids in this hood. You know, it's like yesterday, you know, I had class and I'm like, I can't not talk about Nip. I gotta create something in my lesson plan to address and to try to understand what happened. You feel me? And try to at least give my students a framework to understand it, you know? And one of my students, she's from the same neighborhood. You know, she's like, I could go talk to Nip, you feel me? And just have a casual ass conversation. And just like that, he meant so much to that section, to our area, you feel me? To where even rival games respected that shit, you feel me? And she was just talking about it, you know? And it was just like, hella impacted by it. You know, it was like just he was a regular person who just put on for his community, helped his community, really invested in his community. You feel me? He was just trying to make sure that everybody was good in his community. You know? That shit, that's why I think it hits so hard, because it was a nigga really trying to do good things for his people. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I feel like people try to hold rappers to such a high standard that they don't even hold themselves to. You feel me?
All the fucking time.
You know, like...
Yeah, and it's very rare that a nigga try to like hold themselves to this, or at least attempt to hold themselves to the standard that the rest of that society does.
And this was a rapper who really gave back, you feel me?
Not just money, but like time and
resources. Like, on some real, like, he probably, I don't know if he used the word socialist, but the nigga was doing some socialist ass shit. You feel me? Nigga gunned down like that in a place where he grew up, in a place where he was really trying to change the economic infrastructure for black people in his own neighborhood.
Yeah, and I one of the things that also like crossed my mind is, I know it's just like that understanding of, like, we've seen it before, but it's like a violent reminder of, no matter how far you remove yourself from certain things, like, you can still fall victim to this shit. I was having that conversation with somebody like a month ago. I'm like, bro, when you black, it just seems like violence fucking finds you, bro. Like, whether you identify as a black man, a black woman, you black and trans, like the data is there, right? You black and queer, the data is there. Like, it just, when you black, fucking violence finds you, and for some black folks more than others. And it don't matter what you're doing with your life as a black person, bro. You could assimilate into this white supremacist society as best as you want to. As long as you got fucking black skin, that shit is gonna fucking find you. And that's such a defeating feeling, to know that, like,
you trying to live right.
Yeah, like, nigga, think about what niggas is doing with their lives, bro. It don't fucking matter. When you black, that shit gonna find you in this anti-black society. And it's just like, yeah, niggas black, and then, like, you hear all the, like, oh, niggas killed niggas type shit. Like, nigga, again, that's just some rhetoric to fucking ignore how white supremacy plays a role in that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, niggas killing niggas as a result of this white supremacist capitalist society, my nigga.
As a result of being fucking colonized and put into a red line neighborhood.
Period, bro.
Like, killing each other. What, AKs, nigga? AKs made in Russia. The fuck?
The shit is just, it was, I can say what I felt the most when I got the news was, like, I felt hopeless, bro. I felt hopeless as fuck. I'm like, there is, like, again, it was, and this is feelings that niggas already felt, but it was a fucking reminder for niggas, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it was a reminder, like, oh, nigga, you thought you could do this kind of shit and get away with it. Nah, nigga, you still gonna fall victim to the same shit that everybody else fall victim to. And that's a probably reminder for everybody else, like, yeah.
And it's wild when, I don't know, you're doing everything right. You remove yourself from the streets, you know, like, but you still tapped in, still rocking, you feel me? It's like,
ain't that what we ask some motherfuckers?
We always ask motherfuckers to still be in the hood, still be giving back, give your money to do this shit. I see that shit all the time on Twitter, like, rappers need to do this, rappers need to do this. A nigga was doing that shit and still got killed. You feel me? Like, he was on some peace, promoting peace shit too. You feel me? Between gangs. You feel me? I'm showing a clip of him talking maybe 10 years ago. He's like, it's wild, we killing each other over blocks. Different colors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? This nigga saying this 10 years ago.
Something that's crossed my mind right now is, like, I seen some of the discourse, you know, some folks talking, like, and this is, yeah, like the Breakfast Club, I seen them niggas say some shit like, is it worth going back to the hood? Like, see, this is why I hate when shit like this happens, because niggas use this as a reason to be anti-black and
anti-black poor people and anti-hood.
Like, this is like, you feel me? Like, that's why I don't fuck with this shit. Like, nigga, I'm not leaving where I'm from. I don't give a fuck what no nigga talking about. Like, that's this shit, I'm not leaving, bro. And for niggas to even bring that discussion up, it's like, that's corny as fuck. It's hella anti-black, bro. Like, period. Anti-blackness is the reason why we're in this situation. So you think combating anti-blackness with more anti-blackness is the solution, my nigga?
And people be like, oh, it's just your own people, nigga. This ain't even...
That's slave rhetoric, my nigga. That's like some white man's rhetoric right there. Like, oh, if y'all niggas stop killing each other, if we stop killing each other, the white man's still gonna kill us, my nigga. So what are you saying, bro?
Who put us in this situation to begin with? You feel me?
Where niggas gotta be killing niggas. And y'all act like white folks ain't killing each other, like Asians ain't killing each other, like Hispanics ain't killing each other. Why is that rhetoric only brought up? Why is that
black people,
that discourse only brought up when black shit, when it's black on black?
And one thing I asked my students, I was like, if the prison industrial complex wasn't a thing, if prisons wasn't a thing in this country, wouldn't it have been killed? You know?
That's what I'm saying. There's so many
anti-black other fucking factors
that play into this
looking
shit.
At the foundation of gangs, you feel me? Gangs was fucking made to protect the fucking community. That was the root of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They said, what, CRIP standing for what? Community Revolution and Progress? some shit like that, right? And then blood was brotherly love, overall depression and destruction.
That's what I'm saying, but they got all these like these
And
white
that's in,
supremacist
like-
narratives that have shit that niggas thinking
Right.
to like, oh, this is some shit that was started by black people for the detriment of black people. No, my nigga. It's
That
not
shit
what
started
happened
in
at all.
like 69, 71. That's fucking Black Panther era. You feel me? Then what happens next? Drugs put in the community. Niggas talk about guns being dropped off in the community and shit, you know?
So it's not as, I think like, you know, the point of this shit is it's not as simple as like this being some black on black crime shit, this being a nigga problem, some shit like, nah, bro, it's deeply rooted in white supremacist history. Deeply rooted. And until we acknowledge that, niggas is ice skating uphill.
You can't talk about gangs without talking about white supremacy.
Or any other theory, bro. Any black problem
All
in
this
America.
conspiracy shit is, you know,
Yes, bro.
study the fucking history, nigga.
Any black problem in America, white folks are at the root of it. That's just pure. That's just facts, bro. Look at the way this country was designed, the way this country is set up, the way this country functions. White folks are at the root of all black problems.
Because they said the person who killed him was a snitch. An informant. If you a snitch, you an informant. Which means you're working for the government. You paid to work for the government. You paid to tell. You were part of the government. So if a snitch did that, that's part of, in my opinion, it's part of the government. The government had a fucking role in it.
It's just no way we cannot acknowledge white supremacy and the role that it played in this.
And that's what I hate when people try not to acknowledge like the root causes. You just want to fucking look at the fucking leaves of shit. You don't want to look at the roots of the tree.
Yeah, and then also again, that's it makes sense. Although it's like
This is part of being indoctrinated into this colonial
and it could
system, and this thought system.
and it's like niggas I guess like mourning the best way they fucking can, because at the end of the day, whatever theories and rhetorics we using to get around all this shit, mourning is at the root of it, and niggas just wanting answers and justice are at the root of it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm thinking about how we just did that shit. That shit could have been a little like, I hope it didn't sound like uppity and bougie.
I mean, I think it's part of also like our anger too.
Yeah, because I want motherfuckers
This
to
is
know like
like-
a lot of niggas don't have access to this information that we got.
Yeah.
A lot of it, so like I don't want to come off as that, but I'm more so talking to like motherfuckers that do got access to the
Like
information.
the Breakfast Club.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like,
we talking about the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I'm more so talking that motherfuckers that do have the access to the information. I never want to condemn motherfuckers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
people who willingly
That's shit that I
choose
don't
to
like.
perpetuate this anti-black thought. You feel me? I think for us
Motherfuckers
too.
who know better, bro.
And if we're sounding like that, I think the part of it is our passion and our anger, and we grieving too.
Yeah.
We ain't just
We
talking about
definitely want
this
to
shit.
acknowledge that shit.
Yeah, nah, I appreciate you saying that.
And something that we also need to acknowledge that we've had before in the past, but I think it's a narrative that has gotten lost as a result of Nip's death and what he meant to people, is something that I didn't fuck with is the way that folks were engaging queer folks and folks that identify as LGBTQ for not mourning bro's death. And like the fact remains, like Nip has said some very anti-LGBTQ things, and we've like addressed them before.
Back on
the
episode
podcast.
9, we
And
talked
I did
about
like
this.
an anchor episode by myself, like addressing this shit, and I probably like tweeted about the shit, all type of shit. But,
I
like,
tweeted about it. This nigga had me blocked because I talked about it on Twitter.
yeah, like the fact remain, like the reason why I don't expect LGBTQ folks to mourn at all, or maybe mourn the ways in which that we did, or feel the way we did, because bro has said some things that was completely against their lifestyle, which is not okay, and that shit needs to be acknowledged. Like you don't get to, like I said, we don't get to create these narratives of people to fit our agendas. Like niggas got to be held accountable, nigga, in life and after. That's just what it is, because we do it to everyone else. Just because it's Nip, he don't get to be held accountable. No, that's not how it works.
And I think that's important too for us to say too, especially as two niggas who are grieving over this shit. It would really hit, you know.
Man, I was listening to one of his
still
songs,
acknowledge
bro. He said some shit that was just hella
Yeah.
foul. I'm like, I had to change. I'm like, bro, I forgot this nigga said this shit. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? You're out of pocket.
Yeah.
Like, I had remembered, but I'm like, okay, this is what, like, no, fuck that. And then, yeah, so like that's just something that needs to be addressed. Is like, I don't appreciate how motherfuckers was coming towards the LGBTQ community because they weren't up in arms and they weren't up in tears as a result of bro's death. Because I know I wouldn't. Like they feel, of course. Like I seen folks tweet like, I never want to see nobody lost to senseless violence, but forgive me if I can't be broken down because the nigga didn't approve of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would I feel that way? I wouldn't feel that way about no white man. White man dying, nigga, I'm not gonna feel no way. Especially if it's a white man that spoke down for my existence. I'm not gonna feel
My
nothing.
own humanity.
Yeah, I ain't gonna feel nothing for no clan nigga die. What? I'm down there clapping. Like that's just what it is, right? So, I wanted to speak on that shit and say like, if you're one of those niggas who was trying to erase LGBTQ folks, their stances on this shit, you out of pocket. You need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Because it's important, like, again, that we hold folks accountable in life and after.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Because if we don't, like, look at the full scope of somebody, you gotta learn from people.
You don't want to create that habit. It's like, we would hold anyone else accountable, so let's still hold me accountable.
Hold me accountable when I, it's like for all of it and learn,
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. It's also, I've seen the way people react to gun violence too. I know you tweeted about it.
Yeah, there was just some like super anti-poor black shit going on, and I'm like, my nigga, until you from some shit where you experience that shit regularly, you should probably stay out of it, because your whole stance is gonna be based on one that it's not one on empathy. You know what I'm saying? Like you saying some shit that you don't know nothing about for real. You ain't never experienced. You don't know what that shit feel like, bro. So stay out of it. Like, period, point blank. It's a lot of folks like to comment on poor black issues and don't know nothing about the poor black experience. I don't fuck with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, at all. That's some white shit, speaking on some shit you don't know nothing about. Telling motherfuckers what's best for them. You ain't never experienced none of it. I don't appreciate that shit, and it really pisses me off. It really makes me sick to my stomach when I see that shit coming from black folks, bro. Like, that shit really makes me upset, bro. When motherfuckers is like, it's just pure classism and just fineness, bro. I seen a lot of folks like just tweeting hella anti-black, hella anti-poor black shit, bro. And it's just like, it just remind me, like, sometimes you be on Twitter, you think a motherfucker is your mutual, right? Because they tweet all these things, they say all these things, you realize, like, nah, nigga, you not my comrade, my nigga, you not my mutual. Because the moment that you got the chance to say some shit that was anti motherfuckers that's on the bottom of the totem pole, you did it. Can't fuck with you. I can't fuck with you. And we already know if you're not organizing the motherfuckers at the bottom,
it's classist and it ain't revolutionary.
You feel me? Period, bro. I seen a lot of shit and I'm like, okay. People put that in, I'm jotting that down. Jotting that down.
I was like, people are exposing themselves. I'm like,
jot that
who
down.
to work with, who not to work with.
Jot that down. You got op tendencies.
Yeah.
Jot that down. You got op tendencies.
I know what to do.
I'm gonna keep a note of that.
For real.
You got op in your blood somewhere. And I'm just waiting for it to fully show. Because there's these brief moments on Twitter where niggas will show what they really about.
I'll show how they really feel.
Because it's hella easy, you feel me, when like the movement is going to it. It's hella easy. But then them shits,
talking the talk.
The moments present themselves and you can really say some shit that's not, excuse me. The moment presents itself for folks to show if they really revolutionary or if they just liberal. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you on your black bougie shit, I do not fuck with that shit at all, nigga. Not even a little bit. No room for it. Not in my radical movement.
Yeah.
Can't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace to my nigga Nip, man.
Yeah, I know one thing we both kind of talked about too was just like the sense of paranoia we both been feeling after this situation, especially not to compare ourselves, but we do work for our community. We outside,
I think anybody,
you feel me? Like, we trying to do good things for our own people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think if you work with black poor folks, or you want poor and black, and you doing like community service work, you are along the lines of, you feel me? Like, the nigga, like, you, it's easy to see yourself in a motherfucker like Nipsey. Like, it's easy if you doing that kind of work. Like, it don't matter the scale you doing it. I think if you're making the most of the resources you got, then you are of that caliber. You are of those morals and those ethics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not so much about, like, aligning ourselves with the nigga. But like, me and you talked. Nigga, I think like 99% of my nightmares are me getting shot.
That's one of my biggest fears.
That's like literally one of my biggest fears, bro. Anytime I get into it with a nigga, I engage a nigga like he got a gun. Especially a nigga Oakland, like everybody got a gun. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I've been like, every hood I go to, I assume every nigga got a gun. Cause that's just the norm. That's how I was brought up. Niggas stay with straps. You know what I'm saying? So it was just super triggering for me for a nigga to get killed like that. Shot. Anytime I see like, so I do not like watching gun shit, bro. Like, I don't like watching that shit in movies, my nigga. Like, that shit real for niggas, bro. I done seen and heard a lot of shit around guns, and I just don't fuck with it. And I told you, it reminded me when Nia got murdered, bro. Like, the kind of like that feeling that was in the air.
Yeah.
Like, it was just super paranoid, super unsafe. I had to force myself in the public today, my nigga. I'm like, bro, I can't let this shit come over me, bro. Like, I can't. I gotta force myself out there. Shit suck for real.
Yeah. It's just wild just knowing that you could, I think I said this earlier, but just do everything for your community. Really be a role model to a lot of young niggas, you feel me? Just buy back shit, you feel me? Buy back your own, you feel me, neighborhood. Give people jobs, create, you know, economic development for your own people. Create job centers type shit, you know? Like, literally like a technology hub in the hood for niggas in the hood. You know what I mean? And still be shot and killed. It's just like, I don't know, if you look at our history, any nigga who's really done some shit, you feel me?
We're gonna go eventually.
And they all die young, you know? It's like, really, why the good always gotta die young? You know what I'm saying? Like Malcolm, Martin, you know what I mean? Like, either die young or end up in jail or fled the country. And I don't know, I think that's why that shit fucked me up, is like, you could do everything good in this life and still end up, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, that's why I think it hit hard for me. Niggas just trying to do good, knowing that you're doing good, trying to help people can get you killed. You know? Got me fucked up.
Yeah.
But then I'm also trying not to live in this state of paranoia either.
It's hard not to,
you know,
really any reason to do so.
Because it's constant too. It's like, alright, I remember the Nia shit. That shit made me paranoid. Hell, other things that made me paranoid. And it's like, damn. Paranoia has also saved my life a few times.
Yeah. It's my own day. I experience paranoia in my own daily experiences. It don't have to just be somebody getting killed. It could be interactions that I have with a motherfucker that just made me feel like, ooh. Or you feel me, a little trauma pop up. A little situation that a nigga done had in the past. It's all type of shit that just take a nigga mind on. It's a fucked up thing. Anybody that's out there battling trauma, especially as a result of violence, I feel for you, my nigga. Could definitely empathize.
For real.
100%.
Shit, let's get into you trying to get the Patreon?
Yeah, I don't really got too much more to say.
Yeah, me either, to be honest. This episode was a lot.
Yeah, my nigga, I'm like, I knew this would happen. That's why I'm glad we saved it for last. But like, now my body's just going through some shit for real.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the Patreon.
I don't know. Maybe we could do some Patreon shit on the lighter though. Like, I don't know. It ain't gonna feel organic, my nigga. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna feel forced.
I feel forced right now to create some shit just because of it.
Yeah.
But we'll figure some shit out. I'm cool with it.
Me too.
Yeah.
Alright, Black, thank y'all for fucking with us. Shout out to all my Black LGBTQ folks out there. Shout out anybody going through some shit. You know, niggas gonna prevail. All of us or none of us.
Episode 40.